Hi, those of you who studied Neve know me, those of you who didn't don't. So here I am giving you free advice, just what you wanted. So here you are, newly from. What could you do to make your life easier? So I would think that one of the first things that you have to consider is what human needs are. Everybody needs to belong. Everybody needs validation. Everybody needs guidance. This isn't true for people who are Balei Tshuva exclusively. This is true for everyone. So let's look at these three things. The first is everyone needs to belong. When you were in Israel, if you studied in one of the seminaries, you belonged to Neve, or to whatever seminary you studied at. You had, in Neve, you get peeled eggs for lunch. You have activities every waking hour. You have people who care for you, people who have things in common with you, who share your room, who share your clothes, I won't go there. But in any case, you belonged. Here you are, back wherever you happen to be now. You don't have that. So the question is, what could be done? Well, how could you make it easier for yourself? So the first thing I would want to tell you is try to belong. That means find a shiur, a class that's being given, find a rabbi, find people in your synagogue who will invite you. If you can't do this on your own, there are resources. Those of you who are at Neve, call the Neve office. Ask for Lisa Panish. She'll help you. Those of you who did not go to Neve, call the people who drew you into Judaism to begin with, Partners for Torah, whatever it is. If you don't have an easy address, then call the people in Project Inspire. Get their number. Tell them you need to belong. Use those words. Don't be afraid that it sounds too California. You need to belong. So what you're looking for, in essence, again, I want to repeat this. You want a synagogue. You want classes. You want families that will invite you for Shabbos. You need this. This is your air. You have to have this. Next thing. You need validation. You're not going to get validation from your family and your friends because they may not understand what you're doing. Some people will be walking into hostile situations. You're what? Still with the cult? Okay, there's that. Some people may be, and far more frequently I might add, won't be facing real hostility, but they won't be facing encouragement. So that's the, yes, we'll go to a kosher place if that's what you want. That's very different than a halacha class. So you need validation. You need to find friends, not just people who can create an atmosphere for you so that you could belong to something. You need friends. So part of the reason I said that you have to go to a shiur, you have to go to a shiur, is not only because of the intellectual stimulus and information you may gain from the shiur, but because a shiur is where you'll find people who are like you, who want to make themselves into something more. Befriend the people. This may be harder for some of you, those of you who are more shy, and easier for you, those of you who are more open. Volunteer. If you volunteer in anything in the Frum community, whether it's Bikur Cholim, visiting the sick, or whether it's something Kiruv-oriented, you're going to meet growth-oriented people. These people will give you validation for who you are. These will be your peer group. Volunteer. Another way of finding it is sticking to your old friends. So part of the reason, some of you may know my newsletter, part of the reason I write is because I really do see sisterhood emerging from all of this. Find out where other girls who went to your seminary live. And again, if you're in Neve, call the Neve office. If you went to a different seminary, call whatever office they have. I don't know the numbers by heart. But find your Sem sisters, your friends when you were back sharing experiences. You need this for validation. So we spoke about creating a feeling of belonging and a feeling of validation. You also need guidance. I don't want to shock you, but even if you were in seminary in Israel for a year, even if you were there for a year and then were a madricha, you don't have enough information to see you through the big decisions. or even some of the small decisions. So you need guidance. So some of the guidance could still come to you through the people who were mentors to you in Israel or wherever you studied. Keep in touch. But also open yourself to finding new mentors, the rabbis of your community, and most especially the Rebbetzins of your community. They're going to be your role models. See that you find at least a few families who you can ingratiate yourself with. Come a little early on Friday so you could help out. So you could watch what parenting looks like. So you could watch what interpersonal relationships look like. So you need this mentoring and guidance badly. And you have to develop it because other people are not going to know you unless you present yourself to them and make yourself accessible to them. And again, if you have trouble finding this, speak to Project Inspire. Get a partner for Torah. Some of you have heard of Partners for Torah. Your partner for Torah may be your validator and your mentor. Ask from people in the community who they go to for mentoring. Okay, you absolutely have to have this. Okay, another thing that will make your life easier will be learning. So I recognize that some of you are intellectual and some of you are not. But learning connects you. The Torah is Hashem's mind, His wisdom, His light. So I strongly recommend, in addition to going to a shiur, which you need for social reasons, and I didn't hide that, okay, go on naale.com, naaaleh.com, for free online seminary. So it's not just like a chizuk class or something before a holiday. It's seminary. You could actually learn in a serious way. You need this. It's your air. Even those of you who are, as I said, not very heavily involved in intellectual life, a little learning keeps you connected. There's also, there are other things online in addition to naale.com, notably Torah Anytime. The difference between them is the Torah Anytime has a really wide series of lectures by very good speakers, but there's no continuum. While Naale is like seminary in this, that every class is structured for continuum. So you'll see whichever thing you like better. Okay, so that's it. And the next thing you have to realize, though, you're taken care of. Do you realize, some of you are going to go into denial at this one, you're in the upper 10 percentile of educated Jews. So every place you go, whether you chose this role or not, take Hashem with you. Take your desire to make Kiddush Hashem with you. Because you're going to change just by virtue of your existence. Your workplace, your family, and everybody who comes in contact with you. You're Esther in the palace, and try to enjoy it. Bye.